Alright, let's paint a picture. Imagine a boy group, trained with the kind of grueling discipline you usually see in K-pop, but singing their hearts out in Tagalog. A group that was literally on the brink of disbandment, counting pennies for public transport, suddenly selling out massive arenas from their home city of Manila all the way to Dubai. In just 5 short years, they rocketed from obscurity, struggling to make ends meet, to trending right alongside global giants like BTS on worldwide charts. Pretty wild, right? So what exactly flipped that switch? What was the secret sauce? Stick around, because the answer isn't just about raw talent, though they certainly have that in spades. It's about a blueprint, a master plan that any act could theoretically copy. Yet somehow, no one has quite managed to replicate it with the same explosive results. This isn't just a story, it's a phenomenon. Before SB19 burst onto the scene, the landscape of Filipino pop music felt, well, a bit stuck. It was a strange, almost predictable cycle. Artists would often sing flawless English covers, maybe score some local gigs, perhaps even land a coveted theme song for a popular soap opera. And then, they'd frequently fade, struggling to break past those domestic boundaries. The global market for the longest time viewed the Philippines primarily as consumers of mainstream pop, not as a vibrant exporter of original chart-topping music. Major labels here hesitated, and for good reason, to heavily fund original Tagalog tracks, fearing their reach would be too limited, too niche. Now, imagine layering that industry-wide caution onto the already punishing Korean-style idol training model. We're talking about a system built on intense vocal drills, relentless dance practices, and performance perfection, all while operating within a cash-strapped startup company. It sounds less like a path to stardom and more like a surefire recipe for burnout, not breakthrough, doesn't it? That was the incredibly steep uphill slope Pablo, Josh, Stel, Ken, and Justin bravely stepped onto. 5 young trainees, 0 monthly salary, just one burning dream, and a ticking countdown. If their next release didn't hit, if it flopped, disbandment was a very real, very imminent threat. They weren't just fighting for success, they were fighting for survival, navigating an industry that hadn't yet learned to bet on its own unique voice. Then came October 2020. The air was thick with uncertainty, but something entirely unexpected happened. A dance practice video for their song Go Up somehow found its way onto Twitter. Now, this wasn't some highly polished official release. It was raw, authentic, and utterly captivating. Within a mere 24 hours, the internet did what it does best. It amplified. Filipino stan accounts, already passionate, began remixing the clip with slick K-pop-style edits. Suddenly, even armies, the massive global fan base of BTS, started quote retweeting it, drawn in by the sheer talent and energy. And just like that, the algorithm, the mysterious gatekeeper of online virality, couldn't look away. The views didn't just trickle in, they snowballed, escalating from a respectable 100,000 to a staggering 1 million in just 3 days. Local news outlets, always on the hunt for the next big story, picked it up. International reaction channels, a crucial gateway for global exposure, quickly followed suit. That single, seemingly accidental clip didn't just save SB19 from splitting up, it completely rewrote the rules of the local music industry. It sent a clear, resounding message: originality over endless covers, the power of Tagalog over the perceived necessity of English, and the magnetic pull of authenticity over sterile perfection. It proved that Filipino talent presented genuinely could captivate the world. Here's where SB19 truly flips the script. Most aspiring global hits tend to dilute their cultural identity, aiming for a sound that feels borderless, hoping to appeal to everyone by sounding like no one in particular. SB19 did the exact opposite. They leaned hard into their Filipino roots, making their identity their undeniable superpower. Take tracks like Mapa, for instance, which beautifully weaves the poignant, familiar nostalgia of church hymns with modern trap drums, creating something both deeply traditional and utterly contemporary. Or Bazinga, a track that fires back at critics with playful, uniquely Pinoy slang, turning perceived negativity into a defiant, catchy anthem. Their lyrics aren't just words. They read like casual, heartfelt Facebook conversations you might have with your favorite Tito or Tita, not some stiff boardroom-translated attempt at global appeal. By owning and celebrating Filipino idioms, expressions, and emotional nuances, they transformed language from a potential barrier into a powerful, distinctive brand. Suddenly, diaspora fans living in places like Canada aren't just enjoying the music. They're excitedly teaching their co-workers phrases like "pak ganern," and curious casual listeners are rushing to Google asking, "What is kilig?" This kind of organic stickiness, this genuine cultural curiosity they inspire, is priceless marketing. It's an authentic connection you simply can't manufacture in a sterile recording studio or a marketing meeting. Their poetic and intellectual lyrics, combined with innovative visual storytelling across their interconnected music videos, create a rich narrative universe that pulls fans deeper, making their artistry a true cultural passport. Calling Atin a mere fan base feels like a massive understatement. It's more accurate to describe them as a meticulously organized, passionately dedicated volunteer marketing department. We're talking about a global network with active Discord channels dedicated to real-time translation, sophisticated data analytics to track chart performance, and even members proofreading press releases. Their level of coordination is astonishing. When SB19’s track Gento dropped, for example, Atin fans orchestrated 24-hour streaming parties across every conceivable time zone, propelling the song onto Spotify's global virality chart before the label even had a chance to finish their morning coffee. Merchandise? It sells out in minutes, not just because it's cool, but because regional fan leaders pool bulk orders, strategically slashing shipping costs for students and making it accessible to everyone. Translation teams work around the clock, subtitling interviews in 7 different languages within hours of release, ensuring foreign reactors and new international fans always have fresh content to engage with daily. And here's the genius part. Management doesn't just tolerate this, they actively nurture it. They retweet fan content, host open Zoom calls, and consistently name-check Atin in their award speeches, publicly acknowledging their indispensable role. The result? It's not just free labor. It's an entire ecosystem powered by genuine belonging, shared purpose, and an unbreakable bond. Try buying that kind of loyalty and dedication in any media plan. You simply can't. SB19’s promotional cycle? It never, ever sleeps. It's a masterclass in multi-platform engagement. A week, sometimes even days, after each new release, you'll see carefully crafted dance challenges hitting TikTok, often featuring the exact hooks and sounds that Billboard counts for chart data. It's strategic, it's fun, and it's incredibly effective. Meme accounts then pick up those infectious 15-second snippets, recycling them, remixing them, and spreading them further. Crucially, the group themselves reposts the funniest and most creative ones, validating the creators and fueling even more user-generated content. This isn't just about going viral, it's about creating a constant, engaging conversation. And it doesn't stop at short-form content. Their recent Pag-to-Tag documentary landing on Netflix pushed them into living rooms that might never have opened YouTube, reaching an entirely new, broader audience. That synergy, from bite-sized, short-form teasers that hook you on social media to long-form, deeply personal storytelling that builds lasting connection, keeps both casual scrollers and hardcore stans locked into the same vibrant ecosystem. It means no extra ad spend is needed for some of their most powerful promotion. It's just brilliant, smart repurposing of content and a deep understanding of how modern media consumption works. Lest anyone think this is just a feel-good story, the data receipts are here, and they are undeniable. We're talking about hard numbers and prestigious accolades that speak volumes. Bazinga didn't just chart on Billboard's hot trending songs, it topped it for an incredible 7 consecutive weeks. They weren't just recognized, they became the first Southeast Asian act ever to be nominated for the Billboard Music Awards' highly coveted Top Social Artist category, a testament to their immense global fan base. And speaking of fans, Atin absolutely dominated Billboard's Fan Army face-off, handily beating out established global powerhouses like Rihanna's Navy and 17's Carrots. This isn't just local recognition, these are global benchmarks. Teen Vogue, a major voice in youth culture, listed them alongside iconic groups like the Beatles and BTS in their favorite boy bands of all time. Esquire Philippines, a respected cultural arbiter, crowned them Entertainer of the Year in 2024, specifically acknowledging their role in reshaping society and spotlighting modern P-pop globally. These aren't mere local pat-on-the-back trophies. These are metrics that Western media understands, respects, and pays attention to. And crucially, they open doors. Doors to major festival slots, to prime playlist placements, and even to those highly sought-after late-night TV pitches that can catapult an act into a whole new stratosphere of fame. Hey, if you've learned something new, something that's genuinely surprised you about SB19's incredible journey, do me a favor, tap that like button. It tells the algorithm to show this to more future P-pop converts. And I'm genuinely curious. Comment below with your very first SB19 song. Was it the electrifying Go Up, the viral sensation Gento, or perhaps the heart-tugging, deeply emotional Mappa? I read every single reply, promise. One of the boldest, most pivotal moves in their journey came in 2021. They made the courageous decision to leave their original agency, ShowBT, and built their very own company, 1Z Entertainment. This wasn't just a business maneuver, it was a declaration of artistic sovereignty. By parking creative control squarely in their own living room, they slashed through layers of corporate red tape. Now, album concepts can drop faster, music video budgets stretch further because they're managed directly, and tour dates get announced without having to wait for quarterly board meetings or external approvals. It's agility personified. But this independence did more than just streamline their operations. It profoundly humanized them. Their vlogs, for example, aren't just promotional material. They offer genuine glimpses into their lives. You see Ken editing beats on a cracked laptop, a relatable struggle for any aspiring artist. You see Stell meticulously budgeting merch like a diligent mom navigating a busy palenka, a local market. These aren't glossy, manufactured images. They're authentic moments of the grind, the hard work, and the real personalities behind the polished performances. Fans don't just see a facade. They witness the genuine struggle and dedication, and that transparency deepens loyalty in a way no amount of PR spin ever could. They became not just idols, but inspiring figures navigating their own destiny. What's truly remarkable about SB19 is their unwavering commitment to staying grounded, even as they soar globally. While touring the world, hitting major international cities, they consistently make time to squeeze in provincial visits across the Philippines. They might perform in a bustling city like Los Angeles one month and then be found connecting with fans in Tuguegarao, a city in the northern Philippines, the very next. That delicate balance isn't just a nice gesture, it matters deeply. It ensures local fans feel seen, appreciated, and connected, while international fans witness their authentic roots, understanding that this global phenomenon remains deeply intertwined with its origins. Their set lists perfectly embody this duality, seamlessly alternating Tagalog bangers with English ad-libs, ensuring that sing-alongs happen in any hemisphere, bridging linguistic divides with pure energy. Even their merchandise tells a story, weaving intricate indigenous weaves into modern hoodie designs, effectively turning fashion into micro-history lessons. Every detail, every choice screams a powerful message. We brought the barrio with us, deal with it. They're not just exporting music, they're exporting culture, pride, and an authentic, unapologetic Filipino identity to the world. Their extensive touring across the Philippines also fosters cultural unity among the country's diverse ethno-linguistic groups, reinforcing their role as true cultural ambassadors. The impact SB19 has had on the Filipino music industry cannot be overstated, because they proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that original Taglish pop music sells and sells globally. Major labels and independent producers alike have been emboldened. Suddenly, greenlighting similar groups isn't a risk, it's a smart investment. Press releases now confidently brand new acts as P-pop without needing lengthy explanations or apologies, a stark contrast to just a few years ago. Streaming playlists are cropping up everywhere, proudly titled P-Pop Rising, featuring half a dozen promising rookies who openly credit SB19 in their interviews, acknowledging the path they blazed. The gate SB19 didn't just open, they kicked it down, and it's now become a rapidly revolving door for a new generation of Filipino artists. They didn't just carve out a niche, they established an entire genre on the global stage. In short, they didn't just win a seat at the table of international music, they built an entire annex, a vibrant, thriving space for Filipino talent to flourish and be celebrated. They created a blueprint for success that many are now following, inspiring a renaissance in Filipino popular music. So, circling back to our original question, why did SB19 conquer the world? Was it their incredible talent? Absolutely. Their rigorous training? Unquestionably. But the true X factor, the secret weapon, is a powerful two-part engine that fuels their entire movement. First, there's a cultural pride so loud, so vibrant, and so utterly authentic that it simply cannot be diluted or ignored. It resonates deeply because it's real. And second, there's a fan community, 18's so incredibly organized, so passionately dedicated, that they work harder and more effectively than any high-priced PR agency ever could. Mix those two potent ingredients, sprinkle in a relentless commitment to self-management, continuous innovation, and a genuine connection with their audience, and what you get isn't just a boy group. You get a cultural movement, a phenomenon that outlasts fleeting trends and reshapes perceptions. You get SB19. Copy the formula if you can, many will try, but just remember this crucial truth. Authenticity can't be faked, and an A10-level passion, that kind of unbreakable bond and dedication, simply cannot be bought. It has to be earned, cherished, and reciprocated. And that ultimately is the real reason they continue to rise.